morning. Let's take a couple centering breaths this morning together. So today we're going to do a short talk, and then we're going to get into the practice for 3 minutes of silence, and then we'll have a little takeaway for us to practice on. So today I want to talk about mindfulness, okay, and what it is. And so basically mindfulness has its roots in the Hindu and Buddhist practices. With the Buddhists, they have this eightfold path. It's right livelihood, right speech, right thought, and they accomplish this through their mindful practice. That's everyday practice of it. Then there were some pioneers along the way, and then along came Jon Kabat-Zinn. Okay, he's like considered the father of the Western movement. So he had visited a lot of these Buddhist lectures and stuff, and he was a professor at the University of Massachusetts and also a scientist and a researcher. And he actually created a clinic where they would do mindfulness, and the participants from his studies learned what he learned through the scientific observation of them and recording of them. He learned that 3 things emerged: reduce stress, and there was a sense of calm about these folks, and also there was a new promoting of happiness and joy in their life. So if you were to research all the definitions of mindfulness, you're going to find pages and pages on the internet, essentially. So I think it would be very unfair not to give you his official definition, which is something that what he says is that mindfulness is paying attention on purpose in a particular way, non-judgmentally. Okay, when I read that years ago, I'm like, what is this man talking about? So the best way that I want to share mindfulness definition with you is to share it from my point of view and what I've lived and with the clients that I've worked with. So, and all these how-to books that we buy, with all these successful gurus out there, that worked for them, okay? And we buy these things thinking they're going to work for us. And basically, we have to take that information and then we internalize it, and we come up with our own definition. So eventually, as we go through this journey together, you will have your own understanding of what mindfulness is to you. So with that, I want to tell you what mindfulness means to me. And mindfulness means to me of being in the present moment, interacting what comes to me at that point in time. It's the way I drive to work. It's to feel the steering wheel in my hands. It's the food that I'm eating and tasting. It's being in the moment, not thinking about things when I'm in the shower. Sometimes I don't even know how I got to work, okay? Because my mind is thinking so far outside of my physical body. Your physical body is always in the now. So for me, the thing that I always tell myself with mindfulness is I need to stay out of my head, okay? Staying out of your head means getting out of the past, okay? The past is the coulda, shoulda, woulda. It's the events that already have happened. And we play them over and over again, wishing for things to be different. And every time you relive something, and especially if it was an emotionally charged thing that happened in your life, your amygdala is dropping chemicals in your body because it believes it's real. So you're reliving that trauma over and over again, and your body eventually can't handle it. It gets exhausted. It gets depressed. So the clients I've worked with, I have seen the depression is because they don't understand those events are over and there's nothing they can do. So when we have that centering breath, it brings us back to center. So we come back into a focus and alignment. And we have to be mindful of our thoughts. So I'm mindful when I'm out of my head. So that's how the mindfulness plays in my life. So those centering breaths bring me back to the present moment so I can interact with what's going on in front of me. And then we stay out of the future. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if this happens, then that happens, then this happens? And you are so far gone that the fear sets in. And what if I don't get better? What if something happens to my family? What if I lose my job? What if the bills come? So that creates an anxious moment. So that's where the anxiety comes in, is in the future. So it all depends where your mind is. So you stay out of your head and you deal with the present moment. So again, that centering breath brings us back. When you activate that breath, being mindful, the 5 breaths, it's scientifically proven that it'll activate your parasympathetic nerve system. That controls your heart, that controls your breathing, and that brings your body back to a state of calm. Okay? It settles your amygdala down, which will be another lesson, a little mini lesson. So as we sum up, we want to continue to be mindful of our thoughts, because when you're out of your head, just start noticing that. I'm thinking about something that already happened. Why? I've already learned the lesson. If I could go back in time, I certainly would do things different, but that's all you need to know. You don't need to stay back there. Okay, it's in the shadow of the valley of the shadows of death, or something like that. You're gonna visit every now and then, but you don't need to build a condo there. Okay, no condo building. So when I talk about mindfulness, that's what it means to me. It's getting out of autopilot, getting out of that thing that we're just in the zone. We're programmed to live like that. So in the mindfulness movement, it's waking up from that automaticity of being that person. One last example, and then we'll get into our meditation practice, mindfulness. I always think of it like a cat. Okay, a cat's sitting outside, and it's having a good time, and then bam, here comes a dog, and that cat is very much in the moment. Oh, here's a dog, I need to run. Okay, and then when the dog goes, the cat's done. Okay, the cat just goes back to whatever it was doing. It's not still thinking about what already happened. It can't change it. Okay, if it just sat there and the dog mauled it, that's the end of that. Okay, but the cat's not thinking about, oh, well, what if I didn't move? Oh, it's a good thing I moved. I wonder what's going to happen next time. The cat just waits until the event happens. So anyway, so that's it. Yes, my dear?
I just wanted to mention one tool that I use to stay present or bring myself back to mindfulness. And I learned this tool. It's whenever you start thinking about the future and the anxiety or whatever, you start spinning a story, right? And what if this happens? If that happens, and this is going to happen. You have to stop yourself. You have to interrupt your thought. So you have to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It brings it from back here back to the frontal lobe. So by counting, you interrupt the thought, and you have to say to yourself, that's a lie. Because what you're essentially doing is spinning something that isn't true, hasn't happened. You're telling a story that's not the truth. So one way that I have forced myself to bring myself back to the present moment is by interrupting the thought, counting backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, that's a lie. So it just is a quick little tool to help bring you back. Just wanted to share.
Perfect. All right, great. So let's go ahead and get into our mindful practice. And remember, you're going to set that intention. That intention is, my intention is to follow my breath to the best of my ability, and to notice when it goes off and bring it back. Okay, so we're going to do this for 3 minutes in complete silence. So you can get in your mindful bodies, get comfortable, Okay? Remember, you're going to sit up straight, and then you're going to let your eyes close. So we'll start this for 3 minutes now, and we'll begin. Take a slow cleansing breath in and release it in through the mouth. So you're training your mind right now, okay? In a moment-to-moment awareness. And when you train it, this is the meditation part. Through meditation, you train your mind to be mindful, okay? As you're focusing on your breath, you can, if it was a little challenging for you, you can practice doing an anchor, which we'll discuss the next time we're here. But you have heard me say it in staff meetings before that if you're having a challenging time with your thoughts, you notice your thought coming through, and then I breathe in. Oh, that's a thought. Oh, that's a thought. I'm breathing in. I'm breathing out. And those are anchor words, which we'll discuss more. So you have homework over the next week, and that is to find a comfortable, sacred space in your home for you. And then I have an app called Insight Timer that you want to practice 3 minutes. And after your 3 minutes, if you find yourself saying, oh, that was easy, or that went fast, then I want you to increase it. You want it to get to the point where you feel a little uncomfortable, just a little uncomfortable. You want to push yourself. It's building that stamina. Find a comfortable spot. Find that time. I want you to find a time that works for you. I recommend anywhere from 12 to 4, 6 at the latest, 3 minutes of your life. Okay. I do recommend you do it at 8 a.m. tomorrow and then one other time. We're talking 6 minutes of your life. Okay. I recommend you find an accountability partner just to say, or write it down. Okay. However you feel, this is where you're being mindful. You're interacting. My intention is to meditate twice a day for 3 minutes. Okay. So have that sacred space and you don't take the weekends off. You're practicing a skill. You're getting better. You're not taking a weekend off, but you do you, whatever works for you. But if this is something you want to be transfer into your life, it needs to be a daily practice. Okay. So with that, I am getting better. I'm only about 2 or 3 minutes over time. So with that, anybody else who would like to stay and chat or have questions or share anything, that's great. Otherwise, I honor you for being here. I thank you for loving yourself enough to be here and loving those folks around you, because you want to be better for yourself and you want to be better for them.